geekversus.com.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Weekly Games Chat. I am your host, Chris, as always, joined by my co-host, Sean.
Hey, everybody. How are you doing this evening, today, morning, whenever you're listening to this?
What the?
I don't know what just happened. I've had tea.
What's that got to do with it?
It had caffeine in it. I don't know.
Freaking tea.
The tea.
I had tea. That's your cop out?
I used to wonder if the northern folks in the United States had sweet tea like we do down here. But I swear I went, pretty recent up there, and you could get a version of it. It's not the same.
No, it's not.
So
they're just like, oh, you want tea? They make tea, and then they'll be like, well, here's a cup of sugar. Do what you will.
And then I've always wondered if the English, when they're having their cup of tea, if they technically add sugar to it in any way, and if the proportion's about the same as when we put our...
Usually you ask someone how many lumps of sugar you want your tea, or if you want to be truly pimp, you forego the sugar and you go straight to the honey. You put honey in the tea.
Oh, it puts the honey in the tea.
Honey in tea. Me, I just put milk in mine when I was over there. That was what I would do.
I can. You had like a tea miato.
Peachy tips.
That's awesome.
And John died. So it's just us.
If he really dies, that's how we have to announce it. And just keep going.
John died. And we're moving on.
That's the greatest thing ever. Yeah. You texted me yesterday, and when you sent the show notes, you're like, hey, John's not really feeling good.
He texted me at about 11 and said, can you do show notes because I'm dying? And I said, well, that's bad. I got it.
Yeah.
Can I have your PlayStation and TV? Because,
But you're getting mine. You're going to be full of PlayStations and TVs.
I have to murder all of you. You need to go after Jeff, too. Get all those pops.
Yeah. He's got some really cool pops. He got some cool pops.
I know. I was tempted the other day because now they have the Rocco's Modern Life pops with Heifer and Rocco. Mm-hmm. And I loved that show as a kid.
Yeah.
Heifer was the man. I want a Filbert pop. If they got me a Filbert pop, then I'd get all three and I'd be set. But I've held off for now.
I don't think you'll do it. Only because you do have a collection behind me literally right now.
Yeah.
I don't remember you making all these purchases. I know the ones you've made. You've torn my heart open when you've destroyed the box in front of me.
It's fun to do that.
And put in a public wastebasket.
Yep. Just like, well, this is useless.
But we'll see. We'll see. You've often said that about that pop or that series. I've heard you say that before. Mm-hmm. About I think they hadn't made the line yet.
Yeah, honestly, with every single one of those Nicktoons, I look at them and almost all of them look really, really good. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you've seen the Ren and Stimpy ones. Those look on point. Real Monsters, which I liked, but I'm, not huge on.
Yeah.
Those look solid. Now we just need some Doug pops and we'll be set. If I can get what was his name? I think he called himself Captain Quailman, which was like his superhero persona. Where
I don't know.
He was wearing his usual outfit, but he put his underwear on the outside and put a belt on top of his head, and that was his superhero.
I never watched hardly of those Nick shows like he did.
That was my generation.
Yeah,
we were ripe age because
yeah,
it was perfect because you went back and forth. You would start out in your morning and you'd watch like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And
but which version?
Because I watched the OG.
The OG?
Yeah. I was prime. That was like my age group.
Dude, that was my age group. So how's this? Because I'm like 48 years older.
No, those hit in '89 was when the show started.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was when I got into it. But then you would go through that, and there was something else that was on like between 8 and 10.
Darkwing
and then
Duck.
From 10,
DuckTales.
From 10, you'd switch over and you'd watch Rugrats and Doug on Nickelodeon. Then 11, you go back and you watch freaking X-Men because freaking X-Men. And then 11:30, you would go back, and at first it was Ren and Stimpy, and then Ren and Stimpy eventually became Rocco's Modern Life.
So that's gangster.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome for the history lesson in Chris and his cartoons.
I had a very, very elaborate setup on this.
It was legit.
And if I really wanted to go late, 12 o'clock, I'm watching Bill Nye. That's why
I've only watched the Bill Nye now through like YouTube and things of that nature.
I haven't watched the new ones yet.
Yeah.
I've watched the first season of the new ones, but I know they have a second set that just came out.
Speaking of things I'm late to, I've apparently just started watching comedians in cars getting coffee.
Where have you been? That's been like out for 5 years.
I know, it's the greatest, and I love it.
Yes, it's a great little show.
I love it. Yeah. So but I think that recently just got on Netflix. And maybe why I started watching it.
It always just been like a web series, and I think they used to also show it on IFC.
Yeah,
if I recall. But yeah, I've always enjoyed watching it. I don't really care about the car part of it, but I know that's a huge
I don't
thing.
either, but
That's a huge thing for Jerry Seinfeld.
You don't find yourself, even though we don't care about the car part, thinking, "Oh, that's a pretty cool little car. That's
Every
a cool fact on the car."
Like he finds some really cool cars because I know he doesn't own the majority of them.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, he's borrowing from collectors who were like, "Yeah, you can feature my car on your show."
Yeah, pretty dope.
But yeah, it's cool. It's definitely
cool, man.
It's worth checking out if you haven't seen.
I didn't know I'd like it as much. So if you like comedy and or cars, and then the thought of getting coffee, I mean, it
Those
works.
three things.
You're like all in. It works. So you've been watching anything on Netflix?
What have I been watching? No, I've been more so. I'm in Oscar season mode.
Yes.
So I've kind of, up to this point, the nominees should be coming out in a couple weeks. They're probably next week, I think, is probably when they'll drop. Man, Penny is tearing into that bone. Everyone can hear it.
I don't think they can.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Because last week's show, I swore she was making noise and I didn't really hear it. But
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
The post-production team is excellent.
Let's see. I've watched so far of the major ones. I've watched 3 Billboards, which that's really, I can see why everyone's winning a bunch of awards for that.
Yeah.
I've watched Shape of the Water, which is really, really good. If you like Pan's Labyrinth, you'll definitely like Shape of the Water, is what I would tell people. I'm sure Kojima is like, oh my God, because, it's his boy. Let's see.
Kojima.
Way back, I saw Dunkirk. I've seen I, Tonya. What's the other one I've seen? I've seen Lady Bird. I've seen a lot of them. I mean, I'm going through. I'm going to try to see Call Me By Your Name this week, and maybe The Darkest Hour, which is that Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill movie. So we'll see.
I'm surprised you haven't already, or does that not come out yet? Because every time I see the trailer for that, I'm like, Chris has seen that.
I think it might be wide now. I just haven't gotten to it. Yeah. I'm like, I know that movie won't win Best Picture, it's
might.
kind of like one of those things where it's not. It's one of those movies like some years you just know.
Yeah.
Like who's going to win an award.
Yeah.
And Gary Oldman has forever been the guy. Like him and Leonardo DiCaprio have been the two guys. And I guess Peter O'Toole before he died.
Rip.
That were like, greatest actors to never get an Oscar.
Yeah.
And it's a couple of years ago, it might have been his opportunity for Tinker Tailor, but there was someone, I want to say Daniel Day-Lewis won that year. So that was why he
Do you hear the feints of a sick, older white male right now who's saying, what about Sylvester?
No, he's, no. Technically, he has an Oscar because he got one for writing. But no, he'll never be.
He had his one chance.
So everyone seems to think this is finally the moment they're going to cross the T and dot the I and give Gary his. And then I think most people's opinion, the new reigning champ for without an Oscar would probably be good old what's his face, Ed. Dang it, from freaking like. What was it?
Ed.
I cannot remember. Ed Norton.
No,
Thank you.
Edward Norton. That's my favorite actor.
Yeah. Apparently, he probably should have an Oscar.
Yeah, he's legit.
But apparently, he's a jerk to work with.
To say the least.
Yeah. When you're a jerk, unfortunately, Hollywood with politics,
they tend to shun you.
Yes.
From certain things like awards.
Now, speaking of politics, I did see something today. Not actually political, but video game politics. I saw something today. And I wanted to pass along and give a shout out because it might be interesting for folks to go watch. Mm-hmm. Colin Moriarty, who used to work at IGN and then went to Kind of Funny and left there, and now has his own thing called Colin's Last Stand on YouTube, He does 2 sets of things. He mainly does political history stuff, but now he started doing on Monday. He usually puts up something related with video games every Monday. And this week he put one up, and it was about apparently when he was at IGN, a war that Konami had with IGN while he was there.
Oh,
over review scores, apparently dealing with one of John's favorite games, Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Oh,
so yeah, he talks about how like all this political stuff came in. It was affecting IGN's ability to like get access to a game and look to it. It's really interesting. So if you ever just wanted to hear some, like,
I didn't know that, so I'm interested.
Yeah, I didn't know. I went there this morning. I was like, oh, what's this? And I watched it.
Click.
I was like, okay, this is cool. So yeah, if you just wanted to ever maybe get a little idea of at least a glimpse of some of the politics that goes on,
that'd be really
behind
cool.
the closed doors of like between interactions between gaming companies and review sites, it's probably a good place to look at.
I would agree. For shizzle.
For sure.
John, anything?
No, you ain't got nothing, John? You're still dead? Tom Brady? All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got to bring that up. The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For you people who don't watch sports or didn't hear.
Screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old Eagles and
the Eagles
Patriots.
blew out the Vikings. I was like, what?
I know all these Falcons fans.
Yeah.
I've had to hear them just cry for the last week. It's Steve Sarkisian's fault. We should fire. And I'd be like, really? It sure just wasn't that he came up against like one of the greatest defenses in the league.
One of the funniest lines I heard this morning was on the way. I forget where I was going. But they're like, if you only knew Minnesota Vikings, that touchdown when you got 7 points was the last point you score the entire year.
True.
That's
the
it.
whole season.
Your season's done at that point. And then old Tom Brady, dude. I kind of felt bad for Jacksonville.
I knew it, though. Like, as soon as we got to fourth quarter and it was like 10.
You felt it.
Like, they were down by 10. I was just like, unless something really weird just happens, I was like, he's going to win this.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it too many times.
I mean, it's Blake. No disrespect. It's Blake Bortles.
Yeah, Bortles.
Tighten up, tongue. Versus Tom Brady. I mean, it would
like,
have been weird if it wouldn't have.
Well, it's one of those things like where everyone thinks they're going to beat him, but what happens is over time, Tom Brady and of course Bill Belichick, they make adjustments at halftime.
Dude, amazing adjustments in that game.
And defenses, they start to wear down because they're trying to pass rush him so much. Eventually, you get tired.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, Tom Brady all of a sudden has a little bit more time in the pocket, and he has the ability to go downfield. On the other side, now all of a sudden you get these quarterbacks where it's like, hey, pressure.
Oh my God. Yeah. We have the ball with 2 minutes left. Oh my God, we're losing now. Yeah. Oh my God.
And
yeah.
I put up a stat today, like Tom Brady. Yeah. Tom Brady between the Atlanta, Seattle, and Jacksonville comeback games, right? So the 2 Super Bowl games, now this one, were in all instances down in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He ended up outscoring opponents 47-3.
Gangster.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's like you look at it, and all 3 of them fall in the same problem. They tighten up, and like early in the game, they're taking all these chances.
You stop playing to win, or you start playing to not lose versus playing to win.
And Tom Brady's like, okay,
have fun with that, dude. People want to hate, and I've got people, a friend of mine who says that the Patriots and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are the Illuminati and this and that.
Yeah.
Nick Saban's the Illuminati. They're being funny, but I mean they continue to do things that we've never seen before.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not a Patriots fan, but I can't hate them completely because I see so much Nick Saban in Bill Belichick. I'm like, the guy is obviously really great at making adjustments.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, same. Both of them are awesome at what they do.
Yeah.
I can't root against them in the Super Bowl this year.
Are you serious?
I can't root for the Eagles.
Why?
Because they're the
Mark
freaking
Wahlberg, the
I
movie.
hate the Eagles.
I just had a moment, a lapse, apparently, because I forgot you were a Washington Redskins guy, so I apologize. But I think it'd be cool to see Philly win. I really do. But I'm with you. I kind of just feel like the Patriots are going to win another one.
I like a world where Philly never has a Super Bowl ring. It just makes
you can send all your love letters to Chris.
I do not care.
Would we like to hear who they think is going to win?
Plus, they're the worst fans. Like, I hate Cowboys fans. I hate Giants fans, but Philly literally has the worst fans in all sports.
They're widely known for just booing their own people.
Yes.
Their own athletes.
They chewed out Allen Iverson. They were gifted the greatest point guard of a generation, and that wasn't good enough for them.
Yeah, the guy who just juked Michael Jordan. Screw him. Let's boo him.
We don't care about him. They've been given that. They've been given, like, some of the greatest baseball teams.
Mike Schmidt.
And shoot, they even won World Series.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't good enough for them. On top of that, like, apparently having Donovan McNabb take you to the NFC Championship, like, for 6 out of 10 years. Nope. Piece of, what, as far as they're concerned.
I think I remember, I believe it was the time. I know we got to go ahead and transition soon. We are really talkative geniuses.
We don't have much today.
Oh, so we're good. Let's just do this. I do think that the Phillies were playing possibly the Mets or something along those. It was a later game when the news broke that Osama bin Laden had been killed.
Yeah.
And I remember that YouTube video. So that was one cool thing that the Philly fan base did, because they started chanting USA and the news was kind of breaking around the ball field. So that was really cool. Other than that.
Yeah. What was it they did yesterday? They took, like the Vikings have that skull chant they do where they start doing the clap. They started doing it yesterday, but instead of it being skull, they did foals.
Well,
I mean, they're just D's.
I mean, they also have they
are Richards to a loyal or to a royalty level.
When you say it that way, how do we not like them? We are King Richards.
Well, mainly because they're also like beat up everyone. Like when you have to grease the poles of your stop signs and everything, or like street signs, intersections, because you're worried about fans crawling up them. And yeah, like there was yesterday, like they said they had about 30 or 40 incidents before the game. This is just before the game.
I do know they were taunting the Vikings fans.
No, there's such thing as taunting. And then there's taking a full beer can and chucking it at someone's head.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
I mean, like, yeah, they love bad,
their Eagles, man.
They are bad. I would never go to a game at Philly.
Oh,
never.
Let's do it.
No. Not without wearing some green. That would be the only way I'd go.
A green Redskins shirt.
And, I mean, like, that's just like, I've been to Auburn games, I've been there to Atlanta in New Orleans, and sure, that was snippy, but nowhere near as bad. I've been to Georgia Tech. About the worst I've saw was someone poured a Coke on someone.
I've been to an Iron Bowl, which is Auburn versus Alabama.
Yeah.
A heated rivalry.
Yeah. They're usually respectful.
Kind of respectful. I mean, it's, yeah.
Well, you can always find
now somebody out there. I just heard him say, "What about Harvey Umdang?" He doesn't count. We don't claim him. We don't know him.
But that's different. That's someone taking, you're always going to have, if you have like 100,000 people, 1 or 2% of the crowd there are just complete idiots. There's a big difference between that and it just feeling like no matter where you turn, there's always something bad going on. That's what Philly is.
I think I heard LSU is like that. Like, don't go to an LSU night game. Like a night game.
I could see that, especially, just
They're
drinking
just
all
tanked.
day. We've been drinking all day.
We've been drinking.
Go Tigers.
That's not G-O, sir. That's G-E-A.
Yeah. All right, let's get to this topic.
All right, let's rock it out, dude.
Let's do it.
Topic time.
The topic is
not what I call it.
Yeah, Nintendo Labo.
Would I call it Lobo?
Yeah, you were like Nintendo Lobo. And I was like,
buddy,
there's no O in the middle there.
There is an A.
Yeah. It was pretty freaking hilarious. Yeah, so what was it? It was like Wednesday last week. We all of a sudden got this notification. Hey, there's going to be a Nintendo announcement. And then they were like, but you need to pump the brakes because this likely isn't for you. It's for kids.
Yeah.
And the Nintendo faithful, they said, screw that. We're the Nintendo faithful.
Yeah.
We have high expectation.
Well, to be fair, they said this is going to be for kids. I was surprised about it because we just got the little mini thing that we got.
Yeah.
So this was kind of, why wasn't it in that maybe? I don't know if the production guy hadn't finished his video and they had to kind of put that off a week or two. But when I watched it, I adored the idea. Mm-hmm. I know it's not meant for me.
Yeah.
But I think I still want to play it. And especially that I have a 6-year-old who I think will absolutely love it.
I think,
but I gotta say, you know my wife.
Your wife.
And I go, hey, you got to check out this video. And I share it on my Facebook to her. Her first text to me is, so this is cardboard?
Yep.
I was like, yes. So yeah, tell them what it is.
So it is a basically a system where Nintendo Labo, you buy a kit. There's 2 kits out there. There's the variety kit. That one will be $69.99, and there is the robot kit, which is $80, or $79.99 if you want. Get technical about it. The idea is you get a set of, as Sean said, like cardboard cutouts, and instructions, cardboard cutouts and like wires. Yeah. And you design gadgets. So, for instance, with the variety, box, you can, you can create a couple things. You can make a kind of a motorcycle controller. So you have like an accelerator and stuff. You can make a fish reel.
Yeah, like a fishing pole.
Yeah, you can make a little house, which I'm not really sure what the point of the house is yet. You can make a little robot dog thing.
Tank looking thing.
Yeah, like it goes around.
Oh, you're talking about that? Okay, yeah.
This thing.
Yeah, that, to me, that's more like a tank. The way
someone said it's supposed to be like a dog.
Yeah.
Is what I read.
Yeah.
And then you can also make, the big one of this package would be a keyboard, like with a full little setup and everything. And then the other big one, if you get the $80 version, is just a very ginormous like robot outfit, like where you have this huge backpack on your back and then these connectors that go down to your leg, your arms, and a headpiece too. Yeah. And the idea is basically you're creating these things and then you hook it up to your Switch. Like you'll use your what are they called? The
Joy-Cons.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons. Thank you. You'll plug those into different areas and then put your Switch screen somewhere, and basically you'll be able to play a game that uses these things and kind of creates like an AR experience with it. So
that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, like basically you're, like, so for instance, the piano one, like that literally, I think you have like a tuning thing on top and you put your Joy-Cons on the left and right side, and it's able with the IR sensor to detect these strings as you hit keys that are on the keyboard, and therefore it corresponds to the game where it will actually know, okay, this is the key that you're actually hitting right now.
Yeah.
And this is, to be fair, this isn't something new.
No, because of you're going to say the Google thing?
Well, I didn't know it was, but then afterwards I saw Polygon put out an article and they said, like, here are actually 10 things that are kind of like this right now that you can go get. And it's like, it's basically the idea of you're using kind of connectors to build a mapping system.
Yes. That
tells inputs to do things. Like the coolest one I saw, it looked like the connectors were kind of like what you would use to for car jumpers.
Yes.
And you could connect them up to anything and map them to certain parts of a controller. And the coolest one I saw that they did was they took Play-Doh and they plugged these things into, they made big Play-Doh buttons and a big Play-Doh controller pad, like D-pad.
I did not see that. That seems pretty cool.
Yeah. And then he's playing Mario with this humongous jump pad of just hitting. Like there was one, they had one hooked up to just like buckets of water. And as you put your foot in the bucket, it detects a change. So it registers as an input. Yeah. So like it's taking that idea. Like when I looked at the list of themes, the only thing that maybe a little bit resembles it that is popular right now is the stuff like with the Build Your Droid with BB-8 and R2-D2.
Yes.
But the majority of it, like the one thing I'll give Nintendo credit is this is a thing that's been around, but I don't think there's been someone who has taken it mainstream yet for kids or for adults for that matter.
Well, and part of that is because the tool to maybe make it more mainstream, they're banking on you already own it, which is your Switch with your Joy-Cons. And then, of course, they think of things ahead of time or they put things in their technology so that they have it available. And the controllers have the little IR things in there, like you said. So each little cardboard kit is going to have these little sections, and it's going to tell you where to put your controllers and how to do this.
Correct.
So it's going to work, and it's going to be crazy magical. I love it that the cardboard is going to ship, like it's going to look like cardboard, so it gives you a chance to customize it. I think that's a big thing that they're counting on.
For sure.
They want you to be able to make it your own.
Yeah.
So then you also, coupled with that imagination that they're going to try to unlock from the younger people or whoever plays it. Yeah, and I think that's the key they're going on is pure imagination. When I watched the video, I've watched it a few times, I felt like, wow, when the kid first played the piano note, I went, shut up. Like, I was like, this is awesome to me. This isn't fanboyish. Nintendo's hit or missed on technology before.
Yeah.
Or I read somewhere, I actually watched a YouTube clip. I wish I had the source. The dude was pretty cool when he said it. Think of the Wii U pad. The Switch is almost like a better improved version of that technology. And sometimes they do that. You hit on the fact that the other technology exists already. And who knows if they didn't went out and say, hey, let's do this with our device because we're capable of it. I don't know. I'll tell you what, I will probably buy at least one of those to see how it holds up. Because like I mentioned, I have a 6-year-old. If you're looking at it through the eyes of like an avid gamer who cares about 4K gaming and processors and this and that, this isn't really meant for you. And
this is the made to sell Switches.
Yeah,
like this is how do you get a very young generation another reason to want to pick up something like, because let's be honest here, somewhere between the age of 4 and 8, they're less likely to have the attachment that we do to something like Mario or Zelda.
Right.
Like for us, as long as you put those two things out there, I think you're going to get the majority of people who like Nintendo games to eventually check out your product. Versus, say, a 4 or 5-year-old now, like where everything is changing and the majority of their stuff that they're focused on and raised right from the start is really mobile games, like the touch games.
Yeah.
And then now it's becoming a little bit more of the AR experiences. And this is kind of like a bridge to that where it's like, how can you make a cool experience that allows touch, but doesn't force a touch experience like screen all the time, and give them something interactive. So that works with this. Like it makes sense that like, hey, let me give a kid an actual piano or give them an actual fishing rod, and now they can actually see what the experience is a little bit like as far as a video game and hold something. The concern as you speak is that this is going to be for kids. And I wonder, like, there's a lot of things in here that have wire or like cords,
rubber bands, and
and I go, how long does it last? How long can they go till it breaks?
Will the consumer feel like I just paid $70 for a box of 5 or 6 things? How long? Because I'll tell you this, one of the things I loved doing when I was a kid was, of course, building like a fort. And think of that mindset as being a kid and your imagination's going crazy. My daughter now, if I get a box from Amazon that's big enough or what have you, or a chair box, she wants to get in the box and it be a tunnel or a fort. So I immediately think, how do I not, get this? If you have a kid that has that kind of imagination, how are you not thinking, I'm going to at least try this out? I don't see, at least initially, I know that there's not third-party support. This is a Nintendo thing, but I see that I don't even know if we need third-party at this point. I wouldn't see like AAA companies coming through, but more like indie titles coming through that adds a peripheral with their game that you're going to make in this if it's successful. I don't think it necessarily needs third party right now. I think it just needs to kind of catch on. It
definitely, at the very least, I mean, take this with a grain of salt because it's January and there just isn't much out there. When it came out, the day of and the day after, when I was checking on Amazon, was definitely popping off on like top video game sales.
Yeah.
So
the YouTube video it had way more likes than dislikes. The official Nintendo video, the negative reception I've seen, I think has been from people thinking it's another. I mean, it is a gimmick, but they think it's another something that I think they're missing the mark.
Well, to me, it's just like,
does that make sense?
Yeah, it's hard to judge what this is going to be until it actually gets out, and I think you see what the reaction is, and really the idea of like just how invested Nintendo is in this. Is this just kind of in a way a game they're putting out, with a couple of kits. Yeah. Maybe they might release one or two more, or is this something like they're truly kind of like, with Amiibos, like where they are truly in and they see a money making scheme, if you will, or whatever you want to call it, like as a resource for the company. If that's the case, then you're going to start to see them pump this out. And then the question is, will the public bite? Because like you can say there's been things like where companies have done outreach to kids And it's been pretty clear that most of the time it comes back really not that strong. Like Wonder Book is a great example from Sony. You know,
that has a lot of potential and it didn't go anywhere.
No, it didn't. Like no one really did anything with that. Microsoft has done kid games and they have them there, but they're never anything that I think has performed exceptionally well, or, you know, outside of Viva Pinata, it's probably like the best thing they've had. So 1 in 15 years now, I guess, you know, it's been solid. So I don't know. It's hard to tell exactly if this is just going to be a one-time thing and then they just move on and the next thing, hey, here's a new game and that's what it is, or if it is going to be the start of something where it's like, here is how we get kids very early on.
And I think that's the goal. I think that's the goal.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the dynamic of our show, and I may be the only person who actually buys one of these. One, because you don't have a Switch, and I don't think you'd really go in for that. Maybe. I do know that you like stuff like this.
I do. Like the building part was the part I was like, yes, because
what did it remind you of?
For me, connectors
and Legos. I was like, they're basically selling you Nintendo's version of a quote unquote Lego type set.
Yeah, that's why I like, because I definitely can't see, like, for instance, if you gave Tinley the robot one and said, put it together, I can't imagine her mastering that without any help.
I will tell you, though, I told you Bobby's reaction. Tinley's was, oh my God, when are we getting one? But I actually have a kid who, and some kids are going to be more imaginative in their playing than other kids, and she is 100% imagination.
Well, that's good.
So this is right at my alley. So, and then John, I don't know if he'd get it. Part of me says he will because he's a Nintendo fan.
John, when I was talking,
watch me be wrong.
When I was talking to him, at least right afterwards, he seemed to say, I don't get it so much. But again,
he is a cold, old, bitter man.
I kind of thought Aiden might still be the age group that would do something like this, that this would be target for, but I don't know. I mean, for me, my fear would be that these things are really more so designed for kids, and then it's like I'm going to get in there and go ha and snap.
Yeah, we're
well, there goes $80.
And we're like, oh no,
this is not
But
no.
We'll see. Nintendo has a way they know how to capture magic or capture a hot item.
Yes. They know how to market it.
They know how to market. They know how to. I mean, they show the video opens with this thing literally coming off a press. A machine press. Yeah. And then it starts and you're like, you're following this journey and you're like, wow.
Yeah, I have to give them credit for that because again, they've really done, whereas the Wii U just had terrible marketing and relaying of things outside of maybe showing you Mario Kart 8 is awesome, which isn't a hard sell to begin with. When you actually watch the marketing going back from just the reveal of the Switch and everything leading up to it, you have to give them credit. And I think that continues here. It's sleek. It looks good. They do a nice little tease where they start off and then to lead up to actually show you what it is, without just overloading you with needing to know everything. Is look, we'll explain this stuff later. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, when the kid's finger touches the piano and it makes a sound or a keyboard,
you get it.
Whoa.
Yeah. You're like, oh.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, I don't want it to be just color. Well, then they show a kid coloring one of theirs.
Yes.
So you're like, oh, okay.
Now it makes sense.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Now you can spend $9,000 on accessories for, decorating, because you should buy the official Nintendo decorating accessories.
If there's one thing I have a ton of, it's video game accessories.
This is true.
I've got cables and other, the Wii.
How many of them are for Nintendo?
A lot.
Yeah.
I had steering wheels. I had extra Wiimotes. Well, I did not have an extra Wii pad though, because
just keep giving Reggie that money.
Reggie, feel that man. But yeah, that's our coverage, man. We got nothing else, Chris. Move on to news.
Yeah, so we'll see how it is. Sean, if you pick it up, we'll definitely talk about it. Maybe even we'll get Tinley's perspective, seeing as she is the target audience.
We'll do a not recording. We'll record it and bring it back later and post. But that's another thing that I know you may want to try. Did you ever try the thing that should not have been named by one Jeffrey?
Oh, thing that got cut out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I cut it out.
I know.
I still have not. No, I haven't been over there to try it. I need to hook him up.
I haven't either.
Because I really want to play that one game he has because we're both such big Rick and Morty fans.
Oh, yeah. That's why he bought it, basically.
In part, but yeah, like I want to play that game. And when Rick and Morty game comes over, I want to play that too.
Yeah.
See how I can speak in code.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Nintendo Labo will be out on, I believe, April 20th because they made it for stoners, apparently.
It's and it's really close to particular host's birthday.
Yeah, it is.
Happy birthday.
Look at you. Aren't you special? No one's buying this for you.
Well, I mean, y'all could throw in, man. I'll buy one. Okay. It's all good.
For the show.
If it's for the show.
All right, let's head on to news.
Let's do it.
Hot off the press and straight to your ears. Weekly Games Chat presents the news.
News! Yes!
News.
It's back.
It's back. They thought it was gone.
Better than ever.
Finally.
The news has returned.
Back.
Oh, yeah. I said it wrong.
It's a weekly game.
And I just watched a bunch of stupid, not stupid, but I watched The Rock, like his YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. He had
He prefers Dwayne Johnson now.
a DJ.
Yeah.
That's what he calls himself. I was watching a bunch of The Rock watches, like himself doing things like his first wrestling match or his SNL appearances. They're really funny because he's watching himself from like today's perspective on what he was doing then and gives you little tidbits. And I missed the way he says it thing. I'm terrible.
Drop the ball. You're Ryan Leaf.
I better not be. Speaking of Ryan Leafs.
Ooh. Yeah. Did you talk to him?
No.
Oh, okay. We'll see.
We'll see. Ooh, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Secrets.
First up, Metal Gear survives. Ugh.
The deets.
I just hate saying that.
I know. Metal Gear Survive. Ugh.
Details. Konami has revealed that the new Metal Gear will feature a constant online connection and include a microtransaction system. Per GameSpot, the game will require an online connection at all times, even if you're playing solo. Per Konami, this is to, quote, support a seamless integration between single player and co-op and enable the studio to deliver ongoing content post-launch. The game will take will take 15 to 20 hours to complete, and will have an online store where players can use real money to purchase in-game currency that can be used to buy boost passes. The game will launch on February 20th, 2018.
Now, if I asked you right now, do you think this game is going to bomb?
Hot garbage.
I just don't see how this game can do
I'll say this, like, people have played it and they're like, look, it runs fine because it's literally the Metal Gear Solid 5.
Right.
You know, so it's not like,
yeah,
it's not like, you know, it's going there, but you're either going to come in, you're going to be okay with it and just be like, well, this is what it is. And it just happens to say the name Metal Gear on it. Or you're going to be like, well, this isn't a Metal Gear game.
Right.
You know, this isn't even like one of the side off ones, like, you know, like Vengeance or something like that, where you have a gimmick to it, but it fits within the Metal Gear universe.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know.
I think like when I heard this, I was like, this is some old BS right here. When I hear, oh, we need constant online so you can, you know, seamlessly go between co-op and that. I'm like, no. You want there to be constant online connection because you want them to seamlessly be able to go get microtransactions from you whenever it's needed.
Yes. That's
why, and probably so they can constantly promote things to you through their memory, to the menus. So that's what I see when I read that.
That's exactly. There's
no
other reason for that.
No, if you want to play online, you can literally connect online. Otherwise, I don't need to be connected online.
Or you can do like other systems for when you want to give new content or updates.
Mm-hmm.
You can, I believe on both on the Xbox and PlayStation, you can let them do it when you're offline.
Yeah.
And you come back on and you're like, hey, this game updated, or hey, my system updated. It's like,
yeah,
what I don't need to be like, and then if it was like you're going to play this game for the rest of your life, I'd be like, okay, I'm cool. Let it be online.
No.
But 15 to 20 hours, it's because they want to make the most money out of you for a very hot garbage game.
And that's a short. Yeah, no, I'm going to get it. I'm going to play that stupid thing for the show. just to say I gave it a shot. And I will do my best to be fair.
Please let you love this game.
I will try to be as fair as I can. But I will tell you now, I do not have very high hopes for it.
Those are the ones you love. You're going to love the game.
And you never know. You never know.
Game of the year.
I will do my best to give it a fair assessment. But, I mean, I'm sure if John plays it, he'll give it a 10 out of 10.
This
but,
is the greatest game ever, guys.
I don't know why y'all don't think it's such a good,
Greatest game.
Kojima sucks. We love you, John. PUBG bans 100,000 all at once.
Cheaters.
Yes, cheaters, that is. Not just
just
hey,
random.
you. Sean, you're banned. Why? I don't know.
What'd I do?
Over 100,000 players received notification of permanent bans by PUBG last week. Quote, we recently discovered a new pattern of cheaters in action, the PUBG team said. This week, we performed a thorough gameplay data review of 10 million players and completed analysis of tens of millions of data logs. Through this exercise, we were able to identify over 100,000 instances of a new pattern related to use of a cheat, and now we have confirmed that it was clearly an attempt of compromising our game. These players will be permanently banned in a single wave. The team will also take legal action against cheat distributors. So
I like the head bob with cheat distributors.
Yeah. I guess, I think mainly they're saying a lot of these things that come out of China.
Yes.
China has been the main source of them. And I mean, to go after people in China is kind of a unique thing, but I can understand because technically PUBG falls under Bluehole, which is a Korean company. So I'm sure they have a lot of lawyers who probably, more qualified to deal with that stuff than we are.
I don't think this will set any kind of new trend, but it's almost refreshing.
Sure.
To see a game that you play and people are cheating. You hear about it. There's videos that show you how to cheat. And they're like, no, we're shutting that down. Yeah. Like sometimes we have some friends that I'm like, they'll be quick to accuse people of it. Like just because they're dying, it feels like. I want to say names, but we'll just call them Schmadam. But maybe Ram. But anyways, outside of that, there are times where it is very clear what's going on. Yeah. And you can just tell, I remember back in the day of Gears of War, there are people go outside the map and then all of a sudden I'd hear a torque bow firing up and there's no way for me to shoot them, but I hear and I blow up and I die. And that's not fun. That's a good representation of the torque bow. I like it. Oh my god, it's the worst. You die instantly on a torque bow. As soon as you hear that noise, you just start running. You're done. Like, where is it? Where is it? Where's the light? We Happy Few delayed to summer 2018. That's crazy. This game. Compulsion Games has announced its early access game We Happy Few has been delayed to the summer. Originally scheduled to come out of early access on April 13th, the game no longer has a set release date. Compulsion has stated the delay was mainly due to polish of the first 2 hours of the game, saying, we went back to the drawing board and made a couple of big decisions. We brought forward a number of story moments to get in the action faster and also rebuilt the whole first island for Arthur. I believe Arthur is the main character of the game. Yeah, John's been hype on this game. It definitely has my... it looks very cool. It looks like a game, John, and you should play. I think John might have actually bought the early access on Xbox, but then once he started playing, he's like, I don't want to play this game until it's done. Because he liked it? Well, no, because, early access, especially something like that, you gotta be ready for it to not be polished. Technically, we played PUBG early access. And you definitely made some compromises to do so. It was still fun. Technically, Fortnite's early access, and it's still fun. But think of where Fortnite, and we'll get to this, was last week. I know. Last week when where it is this week. I know. Just those big changes right there. Yeah. You don't have to deal with that when you get the full retail game. I missed the old map. I'll just say that. Oh. I'm kidding. Coming up. I'm kidding. Activision Publishing CEO is leaving. Peace out. Publishing CEO Eric Hirschberg will be leaving Activision in March after 8 years in the position. Quote, serving as Activision CEO has been an honor and a thrill, said Hirschberg in a statement. This is an amazing company, one which routinely delivers epic experiences for our fans on a scale that no one else can. I have nothing but admiration for the incredible team I have been privileged to lead, and I have nothing but appreciation for Bobby Kotick for giving me this
transformable opportunity, and also for having the vision and conviction to champion a creative person for a leadership role on this scale. In its final year with the company, Activision put forward two of the top-selling games for 2017, Call of Duty World War II and Destiny 2. Small titles.
Yeah, pretty small, and I love how you put those there. That's pretty smart. I see what you did. Speaking of project.
Yeah, speaking of numbers. NPD states U.S. and console PC markups are up 11% in 2017.
Well, that's going to change for the PC.
Oh, I think they group them together.
No, but I've been really headfirst in the PC stuff. And graphics cards and RAM right now are going to kill people who want to make new PC builds. A lot of people are going to go budget, but that doesn't mean they won't stop gaming, which kind of, hey.
Trust me, life finds a way, and so do PC gamers.
Yeah, they do.
Anyways, NPD reports the trends in growth continued into December as the U.S. console and PC industry saw spending increase of 10% year over year to $3.28 billion. That's with a B.
Yeah, B.
Not with an M,
no,
but with a B.
Because if you thought that was an M,
yes,
you need your ears checked.
Sales for the whole year were up 11%, up to $14.59 billion. So $14 billion more than last year. Wow, $14.5 billion more. The main reason for the uptick, the Nintendo Switch, which was the top-selling console for the month of December, selling another 1.5 million units. In the end, though, Sony actually took home the distinction for most consoles sold in 2017. Probably, I'm guessing, in part because they had like 2 months of no sales from Nintendo.
Yeah.
So that probably helps you out, right?
Yeah. And this list doesn't surprise me.
No. So here you go. Here are your top-selling games for December. They were Call of Duty World War II, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Super Mario Odyssey, NBA 2K18, Mario Kart 8, Men NFL 18, PlayerUnknown's Battleground. Distinction on that is only the Xbox sales because they do not track Steam sales. So
which it would be forever number one.
Yeah, that would probably be like the number 2 selling game of the year if they included
Steam
sales. Assassin's Creed Origins, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and of course Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, you're wondering what were the top selling games for the whole year?
The entire year.
Number 1, Call of Duty World War II, back on top. Look at that.
It's a good one. It's a good
apparently
one.
you make things that people want.
And
we buy them. NBA 2K18, Destiny 2, Madden NFL 18, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Grand Theft Auto 5, of course, right?
Yep.
Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Super Mario Odyssey, and Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
So just put that out there again. Grand Theft Auto 5 outsold 4 of the top 10 games.
Odyssey came out late in the year, though, and still made the list. So that's good. Mario Kart was not.
The impressive one of this is Wildlands. Like, Wildlands, for a long time, was the top-selling game of the year. And I don't think anyone ever thought they would make that much money on it.
They did. I still haven't played it, but I still see a couple of my friends playing it. So
it's enjoyable. It's fun.
It's not as enjoyable as the number 2 game for you.
That's true.
Christopher Love.
Yeah, he's named. I know. I'm actually looking on this list. You know what? The only game on this list I haven't played this year, Destiny 2.
The only game I haven't played is Wildlands and NBA 2K18.
Well, you should remedy that second one.
I don't want to get worked. You started scaring me about crossovers and things.
You got to get really, it's all about the step back. If you can get the step back and do it twice and you have...
I want to post up.
If you have a limited range, like a Hall of Fame badge, then you're a god.
I want to post up.
You can. No one does that anymore. Where have you been? It's all about the 3-pointer now.
That's why. That's why
I do with Anthony Davis and Boogie.
DeMarco Cousins still post up.
Yeah, Boogie.
Yeah,
DeMarcus Cousin, old DeMarco, huh?
DeMarco. Yeah, he posts up.
That's why I went to that team, because I was like,
dude, Anthony Davis posts up.
Yeah, literally. That's why I went to that team. Anyways. House Marquee. Working on unannounced PC project, the makers of Resogun and Nex Machina are working on a new PC game. The team is currently searching for game testers for the title. House Marquee has cautioned applicants to expect something different than an arcade game. The company previously announced earlier this year it would abandon the shoot-'em-up arcade genre after Nex Machina resulted in poor sales, despite a positive critical reception.
You like that game?
I did. I really enjoyed that game.
And you said it had elements of Resogun.
It does.
But it had elements of other things.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Resogun and also maybe a little bit of Geometry Wars and just things like that. Just lots of chaos love.
Fun fact, when you're communicating through messages on like your PS4, you can go to the sticker icon.
Oh.
And one of the sticker sets, Chris,
is for Nex Machina?
No, is Resogun guys.
That makes sense.
Angry ones, happy ones, laughing ones.
Like the little green dudes?
Yes, the humans.
There were happy ones?
Well, only in the stickers, because, you know, like for stickers, they're like basically like, emojis.
In the game, they just look like a little...
See, Chris, an emoji is.
That's fine. Overwatch League reaches 10 million viewers.
Crazy.
In its first week. Blizzard's new esports league, originally announced at BlizzCon 2016, has started off with a resounding success. Over 10 million fans tuned in during the first week, with a peak concurrent audience of 437,000 during the match between Dallas Fuel and Seoul Dynasty. The league's commissioner, Nate Nanzer, I think it's him, right?
Nate Nanzer,
whatever.
Something.
Said, quote, "Since we announced Overwatch League at BlizzCon 2016, we've been eagerly awaiting the day when the global competitive Overwatch community could come together under one banner. The league will run through June, and the grand finales will be taking place in July." So if you're getting 500,000 at any moment right now in week one, dude, and 10 million people have already watched it at some point,
you've got a chance to really capture this.
This could be, we're talking like Dota championship level.
I don't know why the statistics blow me away, but when you see the numbers for people who watch esports,
yes,
and I'm one of them. I don't know why I don't know if it's because people are playing a video game. Sometimes I don't know what's going on. Everyone
has gotten into it now, and they all have realized there's money. ESPN does it, Fox Sports does it. The big one, of course, Disney has really gone all in on gaming now, and partnering up with IGN and things like that. And they have a lot of Overwatch stuff too, because they understand, like, a lot of kids today, when it comes to gaming, like, if they're not into traditional sports, they will be into this.
Yeah.
And there's a huge revenue stream.
1v1 me, bro.
I will come at you hard.
Come at me, bro.
Like, in the paint, I will post up like old DeMarco Cousins.
Hey, for those of you wondering why we keep saying that, that's not his name.
No, it's DeMarcus. Old Boogie.
Oh, did you see Jalen Hurts cut his hair?
I did. I saw it. He looks like freaking... He kind of looks like a... He either looks like one he should be in Boys to Men. or no, actually, maybe more like Blackstreet. He looks like he should be in Blackstreet.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he looks a little bit like Grant Hill to me.
He does got some Grant Hill to him.
Yeah, Grant Hill with more defined hair.
More defined hair. He's got the Grant hair, like the Grant Hill facial hair thingy.
He looks like a nice young boy. Yeah. I'm like, look at that.
Yeah.
Way to shape
be a
it
junior.
Up. Yeah.
Sitting on the bench, maybe.
You're in there. Yeah, really.
I don't know.
Let it grow out while you watch Tua just take your career.
I don't know. We'll see. But I'm sorry to interject with that, but it just made me think of that.
No. I thought it was a really cool thing.
Yeah. My mom was like, "Hey, did you see Jalen's hair?" I was like, "No."
Is that how she said it?
Yeah.
Jalen's hair?
And she's like, "Here." I was like, "Oh, he cut his hair."
Fortnite's Battle Royale.
Woohoo!
Gets a big map update.
Yeah, it did.
Epic Games has released 2.2.0 for the popular PUBG alternative. And with it comes its biggest overhaul yet, as a total map revamp. New areas have been added, including an abandoned mine and a towering city, while original choke points have been adjusted for balance. Additionally, the map now has distinct biomes, and friendly fire has been disabled.
Yeah, that
made
me
therefore
angry.
I can play with Mike Slade and not have to fear for my life anymore.
We our group, we've been playing the crap out of this pre and post map update.
Everyone is now playing the crap because, let's be honest here, there's more PS4 consoles than Xboxes in the world, and PUBG's not there. And, Epic Games knows how to push something that's free.
Well, they take care of their product
Sure.
They update things that are broken. They give you things if you're into spending real money on in-game money to buy things.
Yeah.
There's things that if you care about the cosmetic aspect, Chris, I've spent real money on this game.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even talk, man. I asked the Ryan Leaf podcast. Yeah.
He spent hundreds.
Oh, yes. I asked him because at first he was defensive. I was like, no. I'm just wondering because I always am interested with people like, something being $60 or something being free to play and has microtransactions that are completely optional. Like you do not need to buy anything in this game to get the exact same experience you will get every time. It's not like this isn't like Tiny Towers where you're going to get locked out because you don't have enough, moves left or something.
Why would you bring that up?
Right?
What's up, Mikey?
What up? Yeah, no, man. That man, I've never met someone who never spent money in a game that
owned the game.
Really, he dominated that game. It was like, where's your elevator at? I was like, well, I stopped playing 6 years ago. He was like, I'm on floor 9,000. And you're like, really?
Nice.
But yeah, like with this game, you don't have to spend anything. And I mean, they milk you. Like these are not cheap microtransactions as far as if you want to buy.
But what's funny is that eventually, because it's free, and Mike made a great point. He goes, "We're in early access. I want to feed Epic. I want to give them money to continue to make a product that I like." And I think that's a good mindset as a consumer.
I agree.
If you're enjoying your free to play model. Like you said, you don't have to.
No.
But if you got the means and you're enjoying it and you want to experience it, they do make it quite easy to get to that currency page, Chris. I mean, it's just a couple of tabs over.
Tab.
But as far
3 tabs.
As far as the map goes, have you played the new one yet?
Oh yeah,
I like it. I love that they added just really a whole new like kind of feel to the world. The sections are textured a little different now.
It doesn't feel like there's a lot of emptiness anymore.
No.
Outside of a couple of key areas where it's key that they're doing this because there's a hill or something and they know towards the end this will be a choke point for everyone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like before, I mean, like, for instance, the west coast of the map, like that used to be where everyone would drop in because there was like
just us.
Yeah, our team would drop in because there was only like 1 or 2 houses back there, so a lot of people wouldn't go back there.
Yep, but those houses were loaded.
Yeah, we would go and we'd hit there and you go down the coast, and if you knew where to look, like there was a ton of loot that you could gather and then divide up between the teams, so you were good to roll for most of the game. Yep. That's all been revamped.
Yeah, we don't go there now.
Yeah, no one can go down and do that.
There's
kind of
one house in the northwest sector that's still there.
Yeah,
we call it the Mike Slade house. It's still there, but right after that, everything's changed. I do like that they added little flowers, Chris, to blow.
They did. They add grass, which is nice. What I need now is I just need the ability to go prone. That's all I want from them.
Do you see now? Some people say they wish they had a means to travel, not a full out vehicle like say PUBG, because PUBG's map.
Well, technically, don't you have that?
No,
with a jump pad.
Technically, with a jump pad, but you can't. I don't think it's as accessible as the vehicles in PUBG.
Yeah.
But it would have to be a really fine balance because the map is not as big as PUBG.
No, you don't need
If you pay
vehicles.
attention to the timer and the storm, you're going to get to where you got to get with plenty of time.
Yeah. I've never had a circumstance where when I landed, like where I'm in the bottom southeast corner and let's say the main circle is coming from the northwest, I've never had an instance where as long as I realized, oh, I need to go pretty quickly, like go through this one house, maybe check one other, and then it's grab what you can along the way. If I'm doing that, I've never had an instance where I get behind the storm. It's more of,
oh, I messed up. It's my fault that that the storm's going to get me.
On the other hand, with PUBG, you pick a location sometimes and you look at the map and you go like, again, you picked the southeast and apparently, the circle's at the top northwest. And it's like, well, 2 things are going to happen. I'm going to find a car or I'm going to die. That's about it.
We've had some really fun times in PUBG with people coming back to get us.
Yes.
Like we're down or whatever and they're drive back or we're not going to make it.
And we're going to die.
I do miss it. Hey, PUBG, everybody knows that the update has made the game run really good too.
Yeah. I'm almost ready to maybe get that on Xbox now.
You want to borrow my copy first just to see how you like it?
Sure.
I don't have a copy. It's digital.
I know. But you can actually get a copy of it now.
At the store?
Yeah. Solid.
I'll buy you one. Ooh. Did I just say that out loud on a microphone?
Said it, I got it.
To
recorded.
To millions of listeners?
Millions.
Oh, no.
I have to say, though, like, the one credit, like, Mike D hates me because, he thinks I'm the PUBG guy, and he doesn't get, like, no. I was like, PUBG deserves all the credit it gets. On the other hand, like, I can give a lot of respect to Fortnite, too. And the big thing I will give Fortnite over PUBG is that you're seeing what happens when you have a really experienced team like Epic who understands how to integrate and kind of improve things, I think, a little bit better than PUBG does, just like user experience stuff.
Yeah.
And the case in point has been like...
Oh, case in point.
PUBG's biggest weakness to me is that there really isn't a progression system, so to speak. There's... every week you kind of reset, you're just getting points and you try to get crates, and the price of a crate goes up every time you buy one. PUBG was smart, Fortnite was smart. Instead of doing something like that, they kind of just ripped it straight from Diablo and said, we're going to do seasons and instead call a battle pass. Hey, because our game is free, you can do the traditional battle pass where you won't get much in terms of rewards, or you can pay us $10 and boom.
We'll boost your rewards.
Yeah, and we'll give you 70 level tier progression that you have a definitive amount of time to get through, and these things are only going to be available if you get this done in that time period, and then we're going to reset, and then you can spend our $10 and boom, here's a new season,
right? You can renew it, and then during the season they got a constant reminder that if you're really close to a next level, hey, click right here and we'll get you to the next level for just a few dollars.
I mean, like,
so if there's a character, because they're actually giving you character skins,
sure,
and dances and things and axes and gliders, that you either buy or they're kind of giving to you for free. So that's cool.
Yeah, the art thing, they are really creative, like with their skins. Like you don't feel like there are too many that they put out there. The skins, the dances, and all that kind of stuff. You want to spend money because you see it pop up. Like the way it works is you get 6 skins that you can buy at any point, 2 that are weekly, and then 4 that change every day. Three weekly this week because that's right.
They added the battle pass.
Thing.
Half price will get you like 10 levels.
For
real money.
Yeah, and they'll gladly.
And depending on where, that's smart because at this point in the season, depending on where you are, you could have been really close to something you were really working to get.
True.
So,
I mean, I think definitely my idea with it, if I'm still playing this game routinely, and I haven't played as much lately because I've been doing other things, mainly Chris Love.
I've been playing the crap out of this game. So
yeah, I know you've gotten back into it big. I mean, of course, like our kick of friends,
they're all
like,
in it.
There's like 12 of us or something like that now, where there's always at least every night.
We now have Team A and Team B. That's how many people we got.
There's always at least 2 teams going every night, and most of the times they are full.
Yeah,
both teams. But there's always someone playing, and like someone's always buying stuff. Like I feel like there's always someone going to pull the trigger every day on something. Personally, I have been good. I've only spent about $25.
What'd you buy?
Way back I bought the
because I bought the battle pack, which you got to buy so you can have, like we said, that's $10.
I've got the elf outfit.
Oh yeah, you bought some Christmas stuff.
Yeah, I bought
Did you
a lot
get the
of
Nutcracker.
I did not get the Nutcracker.
That one's scary.
It is scary. I've held off. I've got one of the dances. But I've been holding off on a lot of things. I'm not one of these people like Ryan Leaf, and I think Tate's been the other really big.
There's not a character he doesn't have.
Yeah, no. Like he came in the first day
and bought everything.
Yeah. And I gave him so much S for it because he was all like afterwards. So there's now a progression system for people to keep going. I'm like, look, person who just started this game, there is a progression system.
It wouldn't be fair if we didn't point out that if you don't need to buy anything again, and then if you also want to play the single player campaign,
sure,
you can earn in that virtual currency that you can spend on the battle
for sure
on the battle royale aspect. And you're not spending a dime.
No. Like,
and remember, at some point, right? I don't mean to cut you off, but at some point, this game will be free.
Yeah.
Not the battle royale part. The single player will be free at some point in 2018. It's supposed to
be like, July of 2018 is when it's targeted. Friend of the show, Jeff, I mean, he's been the guy, like, he has spent a little bit of money on a couple of, like his gingerbread man outfit and stuff like that. And of course, for the battle pass, but for the most part, like Jeff leveled his character from 0 to 70 just by playing the game.
Yeah.
You know, he did it all. And I think Mike Slade is pretty close now too to getting up there to having it. And it's because
I'm about halfway.
They play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like in the 30s or 40s right now is where I was at the last time I checked.
Dope.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Boss.
Finally this week.
John.
Finally this week.
His mic's not on. This finally this week.
Yeah.
Makes me a very excited person.
I know.
This is big.
Huge. Fable fans, rejoice.
Yes.
Forza Horizon Studio.
What? Oh.
Forza Horizon Studio Playgrounds is reportedly working on a new open world Fable game. Per Eurogamer, the new Fable is planned as a story and character focused open world action RPG. 200 people are set to work on the game at Playground's new second office. Eurogamer warns to not expect the game anytime soon as it's in early development. Apparently, Microsoft rekindled interest in the franchise, was brought on by Sony's success with Horizon Zero Dawn. The expectation is the title will be a clean break from past installments. So that's important because for those who were keeping track, Fable is actually a game like where it started in a time period and every release since it has gone later, you know,
like, in that time frame,
in
that
different
world,
industrial eras and stuff like that. So, one, I'm really happy they're bringing it back. Two, I'm wondering what the heck does that mean for my next Forza Horizon game? Because does it mean the next one's the last, or the one after that? Or are they going to just have 2 games they're making now? I don't know.
I think they could pull it off, man. If they want to go 2 routes. All I know is that I'm excited because I don't feel like I played Fable like I should have. I loved Fable 2.
Fable 2 is the best
jam.
Fable.
Yeah.
That's
and you got me on that.
Yeah, I love that game.
That game was so cool.
I loved it just because you could wait.
You became king and killed everybody, Chris. How did you love that?
That's the third one. Now, I love the second one just because towards the end, when you finally beat the main guy, he starts monologuing and you're supposed to kill him. But if you don't, eventually one of your guys gets fed up and goes over and draws his pistol and shoots him straight in the head. And it's like, thank God he shut up. And it's like, how did it not annoy you? But yeah, I'm happy. I mean, you can't. I wish it was Lionheads that was making this, those original people, and they were bringing them back. But,
yeah, they're not.
I can't be upset because one, Playgrounds, everything they've done so far with that Horizon stuff, especially the open world itself, for being just a racing game, has been amazing.
Yes. That game was so cool.
And two, you know, Fable's always been one of the big properties for Microsoft, so it was really sad when it closed down a couple of years ago. So it's cool they're bringing this thing back and they're giving it to one of their premier studios to go out there and do something. So hopefully we don't hear anything about this till, like, say, I don't know, maybe next year, the year after at E3, we get like a trailer and then it's like, oh, by the way, this is coming. You know,
what if they just drop it? What if they're like,
drop? No, they wouldn't do it.
What if they did? I always want that. To where
you want that?
To where
they
all of us
never do that.
All of us people who think we know things, and then they're just like, you know what? Here it is.
They will never do that with a major release.
Please,
just because marketing.
Please, in June.
In June. Like, hey, June. What? It's like stick figure Fable. Are we ready to wrap this up?
Never.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, let's do that.
electronic mail.
Email.
Worst.
If you want to have your thoughts and opinions read on Weekly Games Chat, you can write them in to weeklygameschat@gmail.com. That's weeklygameschat@gmail.com, and you'll have your email read just like Iron Puppy.
What's up, Iron Puppy?
He said, evening, guy. He didn't say guys. He said, guy.
Evening, guy.
Hey, guy. Hope I'm not too late to send for this week. Just want to say it's pretty cool John is enjoying his wife in his minimalist habits. I started a while ago. It's weird at first, parting with stuff you've grown attached to, but it's just sitting in a box collecting junk. You might as well get something useful out of it. I believe it's not the stuff we get attached to, but the memories we had with it. I'm guessing you meant to say that matters. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's why I always am willing to get rid of stuff. I also don't take a lot of...
Dude, you get rid of everything.
Yeah, I do that. I don't take a lot of pictures. Like I'll take a picture of an event, but I'm not like some people we know that are like literally, yeah, like, you would think they're like Bobby at a wedding,
You're like, hey,
doing your job.
Take down your phone and enjoy what's going on. I get that.
Like when I would go to Bonnaroo, I would maybe take a couple of pictures of camp with us, but when I got into the venue, no, I just was there to experience it because, I can dwell on it in my mind and remember things.
Yeah, you can.
Until the mind starts going.
And then you're like, why did I take more pictures?
Who are you, Penny? Anyways, this is a gaming podcast. So what's the game, or what's a game in general the public has hated that you really loved? Mine is Watch Dogs. I played it in November, and it's amazing. Way better than the first. Watch Dogs? Oh, okay. He's talking about the first Watch Dogs. Yeah, first Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
For me, it's been really recent. It was Star Wars Battlefront 2. I don't know if people hated the game, but they hated what the game's company was doing. But I loved the game.
I remember Mass Effect 3, there was a lot of letdown from fans, and I actually really, I really enjoyed the ending and the way it went down. That would probably be my big one. For John, I can attest, even though he's not here, a couple of things. He, of course, really liked Metroid, so he really liked Metroid Other M, though it was criticized. And I know he enjoyed the Castlevania Lords of Shadow game that was on the DS. Mm-hmm. That kind of got pretty mixed reception, if I recall. Mm-hmm. So there's two from him.
Yes.
I don't know what you're doing here. Next up, Brandon.
What's up, Brandon?
Says, hey there again. Hey.
How you doing?
All right.
Yep.
Funny story.
Yes.
Yes. Funny story for you. I was playing Halo Master Chief Edition. Oh, he mistyped and said addiction.
He made that on purpose. You don't know?
Or no, he did addition, but he did addition spelt like the actual math addition. Like we're gonna do some addition.
Oh, like math.
Yeah,
because math.
Yeah, math. He says though, I was playing Halo Master Chief Edition while my wife,
his wife,
thank you, of 7 months watched, and I explained to her why the game is named Halo. She looked at me in awe and said, "You're kidding." I thought all this time they called it Halo because you tried to give halos to as many people as you could by killing them.
Oh my goodness.
That's actually pretty funny.
That's funny. It is funny.
He says, shaking my head. Ha ha ha. Needless to say, she's not a gamer. What do your wives or wives feel about gaming? For it, against it? I love some hot insight because the wifey struggles. Once again, though, game on, Brandon.
We can definitely say John's wife, game on. Yeah. John's wife, of course, we know the story.
Yeah.
What's her favorite game, Chris?
Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while she does that, Bobby, that's my wife.
She also loves Zelda.
Oh, she does?
She's a huge Zelda fan.
My wife is more of a retro gamer.
Yeah.
Because that's when we grew up, but then she kind of went away from gaming where I stayed in it. So she loves the Nintendo and Super Nintendo. She loves Yoshi.
She does love some Yoshi.
I bought her a 2DS. She loves playing that. So she'll get in the mood where she wants to play that kind of stuff. We always play Super Mario World. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where she stands.
My wife. Wait a minute.
What happened?
I don't have anyone. Thanks, Brandon, for bringing up some real.
Way to go.
You're a Richard, Brandon. You're a Richard for that question.
King Richard.
Let's see.
King Richardaling.
That's funny. Look at that. And our last email.
All right.
From Chapman.
Hey.
He says,
I think Chapman. Yeah. I mean, is that the guy? Look right there. Look right here.
That is the guy.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. He says, hello, Weekly Games Chat.
Hey, Chapman, how you doing? Thank you for the retweet on our MLK tweet.
HNY here from London. Not sure what that means. HNY. There's probably...
Happy New Year, Chris.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Good call.
He was about to Google it. I should have let it happen.
Enjoyed the games of the year and most anticipated games for 2018 episodes so far this month. For me, Breath of the Wild was by far and away my favorite game of last year. And what got me into your podcast last year when I was looking to purchase a Switch, honorable mentions for him would be Mario Odyssey, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Injustice 2, which is his guilty pleasure, he says.
I hear people love that one, Chris.
Yeah, it's a solid game from what I've heard. Last night, my special lady friend and I went to a cool pop-up exhibit here in London called The History of Video Games. They had classic arcade games and old consoles from years gone by all for free to play. It was really funny to play all the decades of machines from Atari on up. Got to play Super Mario 3 on one of the Euro Super NES's, or I'm sorry, SNES's. He says pronounce NES.
Hold up. Can we please acknowledge that you should die?
But it's a Euro SNES. It's a special one. He said one of the machines he always saw in Nintendo Power back in the day. The highlight was my special lady friend and I playing the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade and beat it in less than an hour.
Yes.
Anyway, attach some of the pictures in a link below to the event. And yeah, there's some.
Yeah, what's really cool about Chapman is he also tweeted us that.
Yeah.
So if you follow us on Twitter, he has a link to what the event was. Mm-hmm. So thank you for both the email and the tweet, Chapman.
Look at that.
You are a man worth thanking.
Whoa, there's a Game Gear. Yeah. I used to have a Game Gear.
Dude, there's a Game Boy.
There's Game Boy and there's Game Boy Advance. All three of them. I had a Game Gear. That was like my birthday present for my 8th birthday.
I see right now you took it everywhere with you.
I did. I really did. Street Fighter 2 Tournament. Ooh, look at that. There's some people playing a PlayStation 2.
A Nintendo 64.
Yeah, there's a GameCube right there. Dang. There's the old classic Atari.
Flashback.
Look at that. Ooh. He says, I tweeted the event at you guys.
Hey.
I believe it's Sean who controls the Twitter feed. Or I actually said the tweeter feed.
The tweeters.
Dude, I'm American. Don't call me mate. Laugh out loud.
So he's over there, but he's American.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he said that before.
Yeah, we can deal with that.
Yeah. Lastly, to get this out of the way, hats off for the Tide beating UGA. Hey. I was lucky enough to be home for Thanksgiving and got to go to the SEC championship game to see my beloved UGA win. Sucks seeing them lose an OT like that on the last play. Saban is going to Saban.
It was a great game, dude.
It really was. I'm glad you got to go to the SEC championship because I'm sure that cost $9,000 too.
The stadium's great.
I'm going to get to go there eventually.
Go.
Yeah.
I saw a concert there. Chris and I normally see the SEC championship games in the place that was next to it. That's no longer there. And
blew that up.
The best video, of course, look for Marta Bus Georgia Dome implosion. It's the greatest video of all time.
It really is.
I'm convinced Marta did that for advertising.
Did we go to the opening this year? Because it's where it's at this year, right?
Yeah, but they're
for us.
No, it's in Dallas.
No,
they're playing Louisville.
Yes, we're in Orlando this year.
Oh, like in Disney World?
Are we taking it back to the Capital One Bowl?
We can.
We should.
I gotta find that.
That was
picture.
A fun stadium.
That was a fun trip.
Yeah, well, it helps when you
still
get
in Bobby Joe.
Yeah, it helps when you get parking spaces literally right next to the stadium.
That was so boss.
Yeah, that was so boss, especially for Bobby.
Yeah,
just because she was about as pregnant as you can get.
She was 8.5 months pregnant. Oof. I'm kidding. I don't.
No. Yeah, it couldn't have been because she was 8 months. She was like ready to pop during employee appreciation,
which is later.
So that would have been like. So she was like 5 months or so, right?
Yeah, ish.
Yeah,
ish.
Still not fun to go to a football game for a team you don't like, right?
Right.
She says Chapman says, looking forward to a fun year of listening to the podcast. Game On 2018. Well, Chapman, this is the last episode of
we have ended due to John dying.
Yeah. We're done. This is it. John's dead. We're hanging it up. P.S. What do you guys think about the Nintendo Labo stuff? Look crazy. Well, I guess you know by now.
Check this out.
Yeah.
You look crazy now considering.
We knew what you wanted us to talk about.
Indeed.
Sean, we got any Twitter mentions?
Yeah. Again, you can tweet us at Weekly Games Chat. As the aforementioned Chapman, he tweeted, that is out there for you to go check out that link at Big Riff.
Big riff.
He says, and this is kind of funny and kind of actually accurate almost every week. 15 minutes into the new at Weekly Games Chat, and they're basically just making noises at each other at this point. Hashtag number 5th game. I completely forgot that I said that. Thank you at J Graffiti for the follow. We're going to go ahead and follow you back right now because that's how we do. At Justin P. Lyon says, at Weekly Games Chat, what do you guys look like? Without faces to put the voices to, I just imagine y'all are 3 of the kids from Stranger Things with strangely deep voices. He ended that thought with, Chris is 11.
That's funny. I'm 11.
Yeah. So that's actually pretty funny.
I gotta go to the upside down.
At Ian the Cheez-It, let us know. Fun fact alert: Jonathan Groff from Frozen. This would have been when I was talking about Mindhunters.
Yeah.
Went to the same elementary school as my mom and her siblings. That is a delicious fun fact.
I think that person must be from PA because I believe he's from PA unless he went somewhere else.
At Loro Gomo says, at Weekly Games Chat, I could listen to a whole episode of Chris trying to say Guillermo del Toro's name for an hour.
Guillermo del Toro. Gilmore. Old Gilmore girl.
And,
Gilmore del Toro.
I think that's pretty much it.
We did get on our Facebook this week. I should also read it. I answered him, but he wrote on our Facebook page when we posted the episode.
Which is another way you can find us.
Yes,
and
another
interact.
Way. At Facebook/Weekly Games Chat.
Or just go into Facebook and search Weekly Games Chat.
Yeah, you'll find it. Carl said, I can't remember who your Final Fantasy guy is. Maybe Jeff? And I laughed at that.
That's so funny.
Can you ask him if he liked Final Fantasy Typo and if it's hard? And I said Weekly Game Chat replied back to him and said, that would be the Ryan Leva podcast, Mike D.
Let me see if he answers.
And he said, I asked Mike D.
Oh, you already did?
I did.
Okay, you already did this.
Yeah,
okay.
I did it.
Okay.
And he said he likes it, but states it's a little bit different from your usual Final Fantasy game. The game itself isn't hard. While it's different from other Final Fantasy games, you'll still find a lot of the classic elements from the franchise. Then Carl replied back and said, Jesus, I messed that up. Yeah, looked my style because of Final Fantasy 15 gameplay. That works for me. So good job, Carl. Hope you enjoy that game. Yeah, I know he said he mainly got it because he wanted to play the demo for Final Fantasy 15.
I still have 15 unopened.
You should play it.
No.
They have like that new version that's coming for PC that has like all this other additional stuff.
At this point, I tried to trade it in, and it's like $4 for the trade-in.
Well, yeah, it's been like 2 years.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it came out in December. Well, I guess not 2 years, but like we're going into the second year now.
I remember you talking about it and how you liked it, and then the broisms and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, a lot of broisms in that game.
Just saying, bro. Just saying, bro.
This has been Weekly Game Chat episode 137.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
37 episodes ago, we were celebrating 100, Chris.
Well, guess what? About 13 more. Guess what happens?
What?
We get to 50.
See, I did that on purpose, people.
Yeah. If you like the show, make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever podcast service you like, and you will get a new episode every Wednesday. If you really like the show, you should see if they have a review or rating system on whatever subscription choice you prefer.
Why is that, Chris?
Well, that would be because it helps people find the show.
Yeah, it does.
So if you say 5 stars, then people go like, why did that show get 5 stars? Probably because Chris can't say Gilmore del Toro.
I can't miss this 5-star fine quality program.
5 stars. I mean, if you gave me 5 stars for the way I pronounce names, I would be like, you're being very generous. I'm just going to be honest.
It's the best / worst.
Upcoming things before we get out of here. I will say we kind of talked a little bit. You probably have noticed we haven't had a game to talk about in a little while. I think we're going to remedy that next week. We're going to come back and give you the popular Steam title called They Are Billions, which is they are pumping out. And then Sean here is
on Friday, Chris.
Yeah, he's going to town on Monster Hunter. I played the beta over the weekend again.
Did you?
Yeah. It's very Japan.
Very,
very Japan.
But there's a charm to that Japan, Chris.
There is.
That if you allow yourself to be immersed,
I just don't understand what I was doing. I was hitting things, and I killed something.
Well, I'll report, like you said, and not next Monday, but the Monday after.
Yeah, we're gonna give you some time on that one. And then the week after that, I believe, will be Shadow of the Colossus.
We'll be what they call schmalls deep in that one.
Yeah, I will go hard in that.
Hard in the paint.
Hard. See, I think I've realized, like, I like remakes, like when it's like this, when it's like we're going to rebuild this whole entire thing. I don't like remasters because
it's basically the same thing now. It just looks better with some other cool little tidbits.
I can be down with the Final Fantasy VII. I can be down with the Ratchet and Clank that they did and stuff like that. But some of these other ones, hell no. We'll see.
Yeah, you're kind of a D about those, but that's what it is, man.
Are you going to play the BioShock collection then?
I think that's the worst series ever.
This is why you're dumb.
This is why you're dumb.
This is why no one likes you.
The Big Daddy scared me.
John, wherever you are, feel better.
Feel better, bro.
We hope you come back from the dead next week.
Yeah.
Then we'll cast you away because you probably are Satan's army or something. Until next time, though, I will simply say game on, Sean.
Game on, Chris. Game on again, John.
Yes, game on, John, wherever you are. Your mom's box.
Peace out, everybody. Do we say it together?
Thug life?
Thug life.
Thug life. I need a tagline. I don't know what it says.